Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mark Moorhead, a Golden Apple Award-winning teacher with a story to tell. The story begins roughly 3 years ago at the end of the 2012 school year. At the time, I was teaching 6th to 8th graders at St. Paul's School in North Canton, where I'd been for 10 years. I would have liked to stay another 20, but my family had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to move to Europe for a period of 3 years. With our 5 children, at just the right age, we felt it was now or never, so we took the leap of faith and I had to say goodbye to the students, parents, and colleagues I loved. Saying goodbye wasn't easy. Filled with a mixture of emotions, at once brimming with excitement while simultaneously sad as can be, I broke the news that our family was moving to Luxembourg and that I would not be teaching at St. Paul's any longer. My students were extremely surprised, but their reactions reflected how I felt too. A lot of tears were shed, though I'm sure not a few teenagers were happy to see me go too. Thankfully, nobody actually got out of their seats to dance in celebration. At any rate, it was time to pack up my things and head off to the heart of Europe. Not long after we got settled in Luxembourg, I resumed studies on my second master's degree, which I completed after our first year there. I also kept abreast of current trends in education, such as 21st century learning, and sharpened my knowledge of classical forms of education as well. Church, as always, was at the center of our activities. There we experienced the best of what Luxembourg's multicultural landscape has to offer, making deep friendships with people from over 10 different countries. Prayer and time spent with our new church community kept me rooted in activities that made me feel like I was never far from home. Of course, life as a stay-at-home dad was a major adjustment. After 3 years of toting our 4 older kids back and forth to elementary school, taking care of the toddler, keeping the house in order, paying the bills, cooking, and everything else that goes with the role, I'm convinced that nobody works harder than a stay-at-home parent. Nevertheless, it was a privilege, and if I hadn't left my teaching job to do it, we would have missed out on so much. For instance, we took advantage of the cheap travel fares in Europe in order to visit 15 countries, numerous cities and towns, historical sites, towering cathedrals, and some of the most famous pieces of art in the world. A highlight for our family was visiting Rome for Holy Week and sitting in the second row for Pope Francis's first Easter Mass in St. Peter's Square. Our travels have been truly unforgettable. Equally unforgettable, however, was my classroom, my former students, the families I'd gotten to know so well, and colleagues who'd been some of my best friends. My mind was never far from teaching, and I couldn't simply wait until we moved back in order to get back to it. Luckily, a group of nuns who arrived in Luxembourg roughly a year before we did, and who we got to know as part of our church community, invited me to offer regular bi-weekly catechesis to high schoolers and to give monthly faith formation classes for adults. Since virtually everyone in Luxembourg speaks English as a second or third language, I was able to fill the void teaching left in my heart when I left teaching. Time passes quickly when you're busy and having fun. Still, it's hard to believe it's time to move back home. Although I'll miss Europe and our new friends, I look forward to reuniting with family and old friends. I'm certainly motivated to get back in the classroom too. Perhaps the greatest lesson I learned in these past 3 years is that no matter how many other wonderful opportunities are out there, this is where I belong. This is what I was born to do. Teaching is what I do best. I hope you enjoyed my story. If you're looking for a teacher with excellent credentials, broad multicultural experience, and a sincere gift for inspiring students to love learning, then I'm hopeful you will see those qualities in me. It would be an honor to serve your school community, and I look forward to the opportunity to do so.